Hey everyone and welcome back. Now in today's video we'll be discussing about the AWS Simple Storage Service, also referred as the AWS S3. Now we'll understand why S3 is so important. However, to understand that we'll take a simple use case. Now we know that we all have some important data that needs to be reliably stored. So that data can be photos, it can be your business related documents and so on. Now, in order to reliably store this, what many of the users do, in fact, you might also be doing it, is that you might use a external hard disk drive. So you might buy an external hard disk drive, and whichever important folder that you have, you would store it in this external hard disk drive. So this seems to be fine. So in fact, even I have external hard disk drives over here. So this is a 2 terabyte external hard disk drive here. Now, one of the important question that comes is what happens if this external hard disk drive stops working. So in case if you have stored all of your important data in this single external hard disk drive, and this hard disk drive, if it fails, then your data is lost. So in a better approach, what many users they decide to do, they decide to replicate the data in 2 different hard disk drives. So here you have 2 external hard disk drive, and the same folder over here called as important folder is copied across the hard disk drive 1 and the hard disk drive 2. So although this seems to be good, there are certain downsides here. First one is that it is an expensive approach. So if this is a 2 terabyte drive, again you have to buy one more 2 terabyte drive and so on. Now, second is if you keep this disk in the same location, then also there is a risk. So if there is a natural calamity that is happening, and if both of your external hard disk drive is in the same location, then both of them can be lost. So in fact, earlier I used to follow the same approach. So if you will see, this is my hard disk drive 1, then I have one more disk, and I have third disk over here. So these are the 3 external hard disk drive. In fact, I have few more, but these are the only ones that I could fit in my hands to show in the video. So I take backup across a lot of external hard disk drives, primarily for the disaster recovery purpose. So although this seems to be good, but it again contains a lot of downsides. Again, one of the additional downside is that once you add some more data to the folder, you have to connect both the external drives and copy the data again to both of these external drives. So it becomes a little tedious over here. So the best approach here is that you should make use of a cloud storage. So in this approach, you store all of your data in cloud and let cloud provider take care of the necessary backup. So for example, you have your important folder, you store your important folder to a cloud storage, and cloud storage behind the scenes, they take care of the entire backup technology. So they'll take a backup of your folder maybe in 2 different disks, maybe in 3 different disks and so on. So the entire responsibility of the backup and the reliability of the data falls to that of the cloud storage provider. And all as a user you have to do is you have to copy or you have to upload your data to cloud storage, and that's about it. So that's the reason why the cloud storage is considered as the better approach among all of them. Now, when you discuss about the cloud providers, there are multiple providers which offers storage solutions. So depending upon your use case, you can select one among them. So you have a cloud storage over here. There are 3 popular cloud storage providers here, which in fact I personally use. One is Mediafire, second is Microsoft OneDrive, you have Amazon S3, and many of you might have also used the Google G Drive over here. So again, multiple cloud providers, and each of them has a different set of features that can be used. So let me quickly show you this. So this is the OneDrive over here. Again, OneDrive allows you to store your data reliably. Second popular one is the Mediafire. Mediafire also does a very similar thing, where all you do is you upload your folder and your data, and Mediafire takes care of the entire reliability part. And the third one is the S3, where again in S3 you upload all of your data and AWS takes care of the necessary backups. Now I have been personally using Mediafire from 3-4 years and till now I have not faced a single issue. So I have also started to use Microsoft OneDrive primarily because some of the features that I need are part of OneDrive over here. Anyways, so that's the high level overview about the cloud storage providers which allows you to store data reliably. Now, for the AWS certification, all we are interested in is the Amazon S3. And S3 again is an amazing service primarily for the organization as well as enterprises. So let's go ahead and understand more about S3. So the AWS Simple Storage Service, also referred as the S3, is an object storage designed to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. So it is designed for 99.99999, you can calculate this, percent of durability and 99.99% of availability. So S3 is more than just storage of data. It provides huge amount of features. And personally for organization and enterprises, I believe the S3 is the best option that is available in the market. So there are a lot of features like versioning, you have encryption, you have logging, you have transfer acceleration, you have cross-region replication, you have static website hosting and so on. So the features that I have added in the table are just few. However, there are a lot of other features that are available. So for the AWS certifications, our primary focus would be on S3. So let's do one thing. Let's look into the basics of S3 and also look into how we can upload our data there. So when you're discussing about S3, there are two important terminology that we need to remember. First one is the bucket and second is the object. So bucket, you can consider it to be a central folder in S3 in which you store all of your data, and object are the actual files that you go ahead and upload in S3. Now, one important part here is that the bucket names are unique across the entire AWS namespace. So for example, if another user has created a bucket called as demo, then you will not be able to create a bucket with the same name. You have to use a different bucket name. So that's the high level overview. Let's jump into practical so that this can be better understood. So I'm in the AWS management console. So in order to access S3, all you do is you click on the S3 from the search bar. So here it will show you the list of buckets that are available. So in this case, there are 3 buckets which are available. So these names of this bucket that you see over here, these are unique. So let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and create our first bucket over here. Let's call it as my KP Labs -first bucket. Alright. Now you can specify in which region you want a bucket to be. So when you say Singapore, then what will happen is all the data that you upload inside the bucket, that data will reside only in the Singapore region. So you can select the region accordingly. So this is the bucket name that I have given here. If everything seems to be good, then you can go ahead and create a bucket successfully. So here you see our bucket is created successfully. So let's go ahead and try it out. So let's call a bucket of demo and let's try and create it. And immediately you see an error saying that the bucket with the same name already exists. So this is one important part to remember. So let's go ahead and click on the bucket that we have created, and currently it states that the bucket is empty. So you can create a new folder within the bucket. Let's try it out. So I can call the folder as videos and you can go ahead and click on save. So this is a videos folder. You can also directly upload the data in the bucket which does not belong to any folder. So in order to upload the data, you have to click on the upload button and you have to click on add files. And you can go ahead and upload any file that you intend to do and you can select upload. So you see the file is now uploaded, and as a user this is the only thing that I have to worry about. AWS will take care of the entire backup of this specific file across multiple storage devices. Alright, so that's the high level overview about S3. Now again, if you'll see over here, there are plethora of options related to it. So you have requester pace, transfer acceleration, you have static website hosting, versioning, encryption, and so on. So there are a lot of features that are available. However, today's video primarily was to understand the basics of S3 service and why this service is needed at the first place. Now, when you go to organizations, most of the organizations who are using AWS, they would be using S3 either for storing AWS related logs, application related logs, the database backups, and so on. Great. So that's the high level overview about the AWS S3. I hope this video has been informative for you, and I look forward to see you in the next video.